I believe the film industry is very important to New Mexico because when you fly at 50,000 feet and take a look down at New Mexico, we have oil and gas, we have tourism, we have art, some agricultural, but not a lot. So where's the state going to grow, and where are the jobs going to come?
The film production tax credit is essentially a rebate or refund of 25% of a film production company's expenses in New Mexico. They're required to hire New Mexico residents. Their subcontractors and other expenses are required to be subject to New Mexico tax. If the inducement were to go away, I think the film industry goes away, at least in large part, and commensurately so goes the jobs that are currently available to New Mexicans in the industry. Economic development is all about bringing the variety of jobs and careers to New Mexico so that our kids can stay here and contribute to the economy and grow this pie.
One of the most satisfying things for us is hearing the number of stories of people who are now coming back to New Mexico, that they are New Mexicans who are saying, thank you for doing this because I can now come back to my home state and support my family here.
I went to school in Boston and then I moved to California. There was no work here. In 2003, when I came back, we had the program going and it was clear that that I could be here and be a working creative professional.
Born and raised, went to school at Santa Fe High, went to study television production at New Mexico State University, and native boy made it all the way to the top. I've worked in North Carolina, I've worked in Colorado. For a while I lived in Los Angeles and got my union card out in Los Angeles, and but now the majority of my work has all been here in New Mexico.
When I found out that I could actually work here and live here, I literally packed my house in 3 days and moved back.
I moved back to New Mexico from California to start my family, and I thought, because I grew up in Taos, and I thought that my career was basically over at that point. But then the film industry just exploded out here.
It used to be, you'd work a few months here, have a few months off, you'll find something else to do. I've been working full-time since the tax incentives were passed.
People often get lost in the fact that there are trade-offs with budget and spending. Everything cuts both ways. Film incentives are no different. If you were to eliminate the film incentives, sure, the state quits spending money on film incentives. At the same time, the industry goes away and any positive economic activity that was created as a result of the film incentives would go away as well.
The film company, I appreciate it because they have given income to this bad economy that we have, and it's just, I say it's been a blessing.
The film business itself, in the big picture, when it comes to a little community like Carrizozo, we're under 1,000 or right at 1,000 residents. They bring a lot of outside money that goes to each individual business, which in turn turns over several times in the town.
The motels, for instance, grossed over $150,000 for the 3 months that the movie crew was here.
I can tell you firsthand, between the Hotel Ruidoso and the Comfort Inn Ruidoso, we enjoyed over 1,000 room nights just from the cast and crew that were staying during the filming of Book of Eli.
The grocery seat stacks, all of the businesses in town, the business was increased 4- and 5-fold.
There were individuals that were paid. The local salvage yard guy was paid for the cars that were supplied. The concrete company was paid for the rubble that was brought in. And 39 of the residents of Carrizozo were hired as extras for the movie, so they were paid pretty well. The volunteer fire department was hired as security.
And these are jobs that would not exist in the state unless the film industry was coming into the state. And they bring the knowledge, the technology, and the know-how, and then they hire people that are in the state.
So the filming of the Book of Eli in Carrizozo was an eye-opener for people in Lincoln County to the potential, the opportunities that the film industry has.
They brought a life back to the town, and they made the town actually become more of a tourist attraction.
Not only is it an art destination for all the art galleries that are on the street now, but it's a film tourist destination. People will travel and spend extra time to go visit a location where a film has been made.
The town itself and the people of Carrizozo benefited when they came to film the Book of Eli here by redoing all the buildings as they left. They left the town in way better shape than they got here.
When any tourist, any film company, anybody from out of town comes and spends money here, that broadens our tax base. We need to do what we can to keep attracting films to New Mexico.